her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, 'cause she got it.
Welcome back to my channel Z Motogp. Here I will tell you about Motogp and other races, which are actually trusted and up to date. If you want to receive information back from us, please subscribe, like, share and ring the bell. Thanks a lot.
Rumors of Marc Marquez joining the KTM camp in the upcoming 2025 MotoGP faced casually by Jack Miller. Even though his position was threatened by these rumors, Jack Miller even welcomed if Marc Marquez really joined KTM. For Jack Miller, Marc Marquez will provide an injection of great strength in the KTM camp, which is heading towards the top of MotoGP. I have no problem at all. Of course it will be good for KTM, said Miller, as reported by gridauto.com from crash.net. But Miller also warned that Marquez or other riders cannot simply blame the bike if the performance is not good. Yes, so that's what a lot of people are doing now, blaming the bike, said the Australian rider. Don't get me wrong, I know Marc is a fantastic rider. But that's what people are doing right now, said teammate Brad Binder. Miller is not worried about his position being displaced, because he believes KTM is increasingly careful to rotate its riders. Moreover, experienced riders like him, who can provide a lot of input to the Austrian manufacturer. In fact, if Marquez wants to join, Miller considers it a confirmation that KTM does count for strength. If Marc comes to KTM, it's fantastic because KTM can get a big name like him. And again, that means we are doing the right thing, said the former Ducati rider. It means we have made the bike interesting enough for someone who has won 8 world titles. But of course we have to wait and monitor it, he explained. Before welcoming Marquez, the number 43 rider was also happy because KTM had a new star in Pedro Acosta. Acosta, whose ambition to shine with the manufacturer that has raised his name, means that he considers the RC16 to be a competitive motorbike. I am very happy because KTM secured Acosta, who has been in this family for a long time. It gives me motivation, Miller replied happily. It's good for KTM to secure him on our bike, and I think that's the result of our work this year, making the bike interesting. And now he wants to be on it, he explained. KTM rider Jack Miller warmly welcomed the Marc Marquez rumors. Miller considered, KTM would benefit if it secured the service of the 8-time world champion. Along with Honda's difficulties in recent years, Marquez's future is in question. However, the Spanish rider has confirmed that he will spend his contract until the end of 2024 to dampen speculation about a possible early farewell. However, it cannot be denied that next season is likely to be the last time Marquez and the Japanese manufacturer work together. KTM is predicted as a realistic option for Marquez to continue his career in the future. The Austrian factory team has gradually become competitive with 10 podium finishes since 2021, with 3 wins. Marc Marquez's move to KTM is even more likely as both parties are sponsored by Red Bull. With contracts expiring next year, Jack Miller or Brad Binder could be pushed aside by KTM in an attempt to sign Marquez in 2025. Miller admitted that he was not affected by the Marquez rumors, instead supporting KTM to bring in the racer. I don't care, absolutely not, about the rumors of Marquez to KTM. Of course it would be a good thing, the Australian racer told Crash. However, if Marc joins KTM, it will be fantastic for KTM because they can recruit a big rider like that. And again, that means we are doing the right thing. Making this bike is desirable enough for a rider who has won 8 titles. However, we have to wait and see the situation anyway, Jack Miller added. Red Bull KTM rider Jack Miller feels the signing of rising star Pedro Acosta and continued speculation over Marc Marquez is a credit to KTM's work. This makes the RC16 one of the most desirable bikes on the MotoGP grid. KTM has been a race winner since 2020 but never higher than 4th in the constructors' standings. KTM has suddenly emerged as the most consistent challenger to defending champions Ducati. The Austrian factory is second only to Ducati in the constructors' chase, while Brad Binder is the best of the non-Desmosedici riders with fourth place in the drivers' standings. That has attracted the interest of Acosta, who won the Moto3 title as a rookie and now leads the Moto2 standings. While KTM emphasized there was no rush for the 19-year-old to reach MotoGP, Acosta decided the time was right and will step up in 2024. I am very, very happy for KTM because Acosta has been in the KTM family for a long time and it keeps me depressed, Miller said. It's good for KTM to be able to keep him on the bike, and I think it also depends on the work we have done this year. In terms of making it one of the more desirable bikes on the grid. And he wants to be on it. It's ridiculous to think he won't have other MotoGP offers. So it's cool to have a bike at that level and be able to sign new riders coming in. I don't know where they put him yet, but that's not my problem, said Miller. According to the Australian rider, Acosta just needs to get on the KTM, feel comfortable, and do what he knows how to do, which is ride the motorcycle very fast. Miller also thinks that there are extraordinary conditions if KTM brings in a big name like Marc Marquez. The 28-year-old rider has a similar view of the Marc Marquez KTM rumors that constantly appear in the MotoGP paddock. That means we are doing something right, making this bike desirable enough for someone who has won 8 world titles, to switch. A Repsol Honda rider since his debut in the Premier class, Marquez's remarkable success was halted by an arm injury in 2020. After winning an average of 8 races a season, and lifting 6 of the 7 world titles, Marquez has only achieved 3 race wins. With Marquez convinced that his physical woes were finally behind him, the spotlight was firmly on the failing RCV, which has rarely been a match for the dominant European brands this season. Honda's woes fueled rumors that Marquez could run out of patience. And with Red Bull already a major personal sponsor, the KTM connection has often dominated silly season headlines. About the rumors of Miller moving to KTM, Miller admitted that he didn't care. However, he thinks that the KTM bike will suit Marquez. But some people say if Marquez doesn't win, people will blame KTM. Yes, that's what some people are doing now, blaming the bike. Don't get me wrong, I know Marc is a fantastic rider, but that's what people are doing right now, Miller said. Rins won with Honda, he was competitive with Honda, but people didn't see it. Rins' crash at Mugello was really unfortunate. However, it was an accident that any of us could have had where he lost the balance of the front, was unlucky in the gravel and broke his leg, Miller said. If Marc comes to KTM, it would be fantastic for KTM to sign a big name like that. And again, it means we are doing something right. Making this bike attractive enough for someone who has won 8 world titles, to switch. But we have to wait and see. Miller and teammate Binder are contracted by Red Bull KTM until at least the end of the 2024 season, which is also when Marquez's current Honda contract expires. With Gasca's teammates Pol Espargaro and Augusto Fernandez also signed on for next season, KTM's potential options to accommodate Acosta include requesting permission for a 5th machine or diverting one of the Tech 3 riders for testing and wildcard duties. The rumors of Marc Marquez joining the KTM camp in MotoGP 2025 were responded calmly by Jack Miller, even though if that happened his position could be threatened. But on the contrary, Jack Miller welcomed if Marc Marquez really moved closer to KTM. For Jack Miller, Marc Marquez will provide an injection of great strength in the KTM camp which is treading towards the top of MotoGP. I have no problem at all. Of course it will be good for KTM, said Miller, reported by Grid2.com from Crash.net. But Miller also warned that Marquez or other riders could not just blame the bike if the performance was not good. Miller is not worried about his position being displaced, because he believes KTM is increasingly careful to rotate its riders. Especially experienced riders like himself, who can provide a lot of input to the Austrian manufacturer. In fact, if Marquez wants to join, Miller considers it a confirmation that KTM does count for strength. If Marc comes to KTM, it's fantastic because KTM can get a big name like him. And again, that means we are doing the right thing, said the former Ducati rider. It means we have made the bike interesting enough for someone who has won 8 world titles. But of course we have to wait and monitor it, he explained. Before welcoming Marc Marquez, The number 43 rider was also happy because KTM had a new star, Pedro Acosta. Acosta, whose ambition to shine with the manufacturer that has raised his name, means that he considers the RC16 to be a competitive motorbike. I am very happy because KTM secured Acosta, who has been in this family for a long time. It gives me motivation, Miller replied happily. It's good for KTM to secure him on our bike, and I think that's the result of our work this year, making the bike interesting. And now he wants to be on it, he explained. Marc Marquez's future in MotoGP is being widely speculated. One of the rumors said Marquez had the opportunity to join KTM Red Bull. Hearing this news, KTM racer Jack Miller also reacted. He welcomed the news if it could really happen. Marc Marquez. Jack Miller admitted that he was happy if Marquez could really join KTM. According to him, it would be very interesting if Marquez joined his team. If it happens, it indicates that we are doing the right thing. The proof is that our motorbike is attracting the interest of a racer who has won MotoGP 8 times, Miller said, as quoted by Crash. According to him, if Marquez moves closer to KTM, it will be a good thing for the team. He also doesn't mind if the rumors come true. The 28-year-old racer said that the public was unfair to Marquez for his recent unsatisfactory results. According to him, what happened to him was also not entirely the fault of Honda or Marquez. Rins wins with Honda and also competes with others, but people don't see that, he said. Jack Miller. If Marc moves to KTM, it would be fantastic for us to be able to get a big name like him. However, we have to wait and see that later, he continued. Yes, Marquez's future at Honda is in doubt. He is rumored to be leaving because he is angry with Honda's condition, which continues to deteriorate. This season alone, Marquez is still scattered in 19th place in the 2023 MotoGP standings. He has only won 15 points so far.